I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. Sometimes I feel like all is lost, but I know it's not true. I wanna put up all my walls cause I'm not in the mood, but then I cut myself off from the rest of the room. I know that time can heal it all if you're patient and soon it can all be worth it, all the searching. Pain is never really permanent, but damn it hurts, man. I could feel all of the turbulence and it's concerning. I've been searching for a purpose, I hope it's worth it. This society is really trying me. Ain't no hide and seek, I hide to be far from anxiety. I need my space, I need my privacy. I need some silence, please, you're all too loud. You don't speak quietly, opinions violently thrown across every surface. It makes me nervous. Is the world honestly burning? That's all I'm learning. Hope that we can make a turn and start reversing all our minds and put the work in. We got some work, man. I started to do. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through. Gotta get through this, life is a nuisance, tie up some loose ends. I try to be human, find a solution, my evolution. A place like this, it didn't exist, we made it like this. So you can go pick the bad or the good, got a glass half wish. I know, it's easier to hide than just to lay low. Not everyone in life has got a halo. I'm standing in the red inside a payphone, just wanna break, no. I'm not gonna give in, take a last shot, Michael J. Win. No, I'm not a robot, I'm in my own skin. Never get lost when thoughts pull you in. I miss the old you, we died with a purpose. All the energy around me felt nervous, scared I would pop out fast to the surface. Had to cut it off before you made me worthless. Torn apart, I've been torn and scarred. I had a given art, but now I'm thinking smart. I'm keeping up my guard, I'm hiding every card. A royal flush of love, you never know what's hard. With a back to the mat, gonna see where I'm at. I'ma fight like I'm mad, I'm a beast of the net. They can never be me, nice try, but they'll see I achieve everything while they stay salty. I started to go. I can hear the demons call when they do what they do. And now I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through, I just gotta get through. Cause I feel like taking off, find a place with a view. The pain is never gonna stop if it's controlling you. I know that time can heal it all, I just gotta get through. I just gotta get through.
Hey y'all, what's up? Ella, hey wifey. How's Shelma? Frank? Lucia, hi. Can y'all hear me good? I've been having trouble with my internet. Hey Allie. Hey love. Hey Allie, thank you for putting out that Ryan Up Church stuff. That's really awesome, for real. Because I haven't seen most of it. Hope Church is okay because we ain't heard from him in a few days. I gotta get my charger. One second, y'all. I love his soul too, Ellie. He's the best. He is. Okay, I'm back. How is everybody? Sorry, I ain't got my shit together here. Which I never have my shit together. The shit. Plug my charger up. Lindsay Clancy is having an arraignment today. We're gonna watch that. It's at 2 o'clock, so it's in what 15-ish minutes. We were gonna have members only. I've been talking about doing the giveaway and stuff, and I've had so much shit going on and not feeling good. But I am gonna get to that. Hopefully this weekend. I don't know. I don't want to make promises I can't keep. Yeah, that's why I'm not like doing it yet because I want to have my focus on that. You know what I mean? Good seeing you, wifey. Sorry, I do not have it together right now. Let's see here. These little dogs. Oh, Lordy. I do want to watch this, see if we can get her arraignment, Lindsay Clancy's arraignment today. Let's see here. I do want to show something here. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to share this. Let me mute.
Family of Gabby Petito sues Moab, Utah police for $50 million. Fox News' Brian Linas on the Petito family accusing police of mishandling a traffic stop involving Gabby and her boyfriend Brian Laundrie. Attorneys for Gabby Petito's family have released a previously unseen photo of blood on her face taken during a Utah domestic violence stop just weeks before her suspected murder at the hands of ex-fiancé Brian Laundrie. The law firm of Parker and McConkie first described the existence of the photo in a November 2022 wrongful death lawsuit against the Moab City Police Department, which encountered the travel blogging couple on August 12, 2021, after a witness reported seeing Laundrie hitting Petito and trying to take her phone and drive off without her outside the Moonflower Co-op, an organic grocer off the city's main drag. The photo was taken by Petito herself and recovered from her phone shortly before the stop, according to the law firm. According to available data, the image was taken at 4:37 p.m., at or before the approximate time of the initial 911 call, the family's attorneys said in a statement Tuesday. Gabby Petito murder, Brian Laundrie's notebook confession revealed, I ended her life. Gabby Petito with blood on her face in an August 12, 2021 traffic stop in Moab, Utah. Gabby Petito with blood on her face in an August 12, 2021 traffic stop in Moab, Utah. Parker and McConkie. The Moab police response triggered an outside investigation that found unintentional mistakes in the officers' handling of the stop. They split the couple up for the night and declined to press charges. By August 28, Petito is believed to have been strangled and bludgeoned to death by Laundrie in Wyoming, where her remains were discovered on September 18. Moab police officer Eric Pratt, in body cam footage released by investigators, is seen speaking to Brian Laundrie on August 12, 2021. Moab police officer Eric Pratt, in body cam footage released by investigators, is seen speaking to Brian Laundrie on August 12, 2021. Moab City Police Department. Laundrie returned to his parents' Florida home on September 1, driving Petito's van. The FBI and local police found him dead in a swamp on October 20 of a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. A dry bag nearby contained a handwritten confession to Petito's death. This is a developing story, check back for updates. Michael Ruiz is a reporter for Fox News Digital. Story tips can be sent to michael.ruiz@fox.com and on Twitter @MikerReports.
Yeah, that was a new photo that's been released of Gabby. She was documenting her abuse, I guess. Poor baby girl. Hey, Stonefly. But that picture was taken right before they got pulled over. Yes, Stonefly is very. How could they miss that on her eye? I mean, did she have sunglasses on? I can't remember. But that picture was before they got stopped. Them fucking cops, man. They were on Brian's side. It's fucked up. It's hard telling what that poor baby went through. Yeah, I wish he didn't either, Ella, but he's a fucking pussy. Why'd he even. I really hope they burn fucking his parents. I hope they win that. Because you know they knew, especially his fucking mama. I'm going to turn this live feed on. See if we can get this Lindsay Clancy stuff going here. I'm not sure if they're going to show it on this channel or not, but we're going to try because I want to watch her arraignment. And maybe they're getting ready for it. Looks like maybe I'm just going to leave this here and. Okay, Frank. I want to watch this news coverage. This case does hit me hard, Allie, and I seen somebody fucking trashing her yesterday, and it really made me. I can't remember who it was. They're like, no, you obviously don't understand all of it. Like I've got a list of all of her medications she was on and all. It's wild. It's wild. That's what's up. That's why people don't fucking want to get help for mental health because they want to. All they want to do is shove pills, all kinds of fucking pills down your throat. Okay, let's see here. Here we go, maybe. Yeah, that ain't it yet. Right, Allie. They don't understand it could have been them. It could have been anybody that's given birth. This could have happened to anyone. I don't know what this is on screen, what he's talking about. It's not the case that I'm wanting, but let's see here. Could have been any of us that's gave him birth. Hey, Tammy Ayo. Okay, well, Crime Lines and Lies is streaming it, so we'll no, maybe this is it. No, that's not it. see here. Hey, Unique. Just a second. Hmm. Okay, we played here. Yeah, I'm squirreling, Frank. Hi, Salty. Here we go. Maybe. Here we go. Maybe. I don't know. What the hell's going on? Get it together for this damn court hearing. Come on. Sorry to keep y'all waiting. Court's late, looks like.
Docket
Here we go.
235 CR 0153, it's the Commonwealth versus Lindsay Clancy.
Thank you very much. Could I have counsel for the Commonwealth or counsel identify themselves for the record?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jennifer Sprague for the Commonwealth.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Amanda Fowler for the Commonwealth.
Could I have counsel for Ms. Clancy identify himself for the record?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Kevin Reddington. I represent Lindsay Clancy, who is appearing by Zoom, as I understand.
Okay, very good. I can see Ms. Clancy on the Zoom line. In this matter, this arraignment is being conducted at the assent of the parties, with Ms. Clancy participating from the hospital that she is in. This is done to ensure, and it's on Zoom, that the public has as much access as possible to court business. It also ensures any privacy rights of people doing business at the hospital and helps the hospital in dealing with what they need to deal with on a daily basis. And both sides have assented to doing the arraignment this way. At this point in time, there is court staff that is at the hospital. Mr. Jackson, can you hear me? And is Ms. Clancy in a position that the two of you can hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Ms. Clancy, at any point in time, if you needed to speak to your attorney, you can indicate that you'd like to speak to your attorney, and we can make arrangements to go off record where you would be able to have a private call with your attorney if that became necessary. Very good. I will first here, I've had a chance to review the court filing in its entirety. I have had a chance, there were documentation from a treating surgeon, as well as some letters that were also submitted to the court. I have had a chance to review all of those documents. Commonwealth, I'll hear from you first.
Your Honor, I apologize. Excuse me, counsel. Your Honor, I would request, much like we do many times where there's an identification issue, that rather than have the Zoom focus directly on her, you know she can hear, you know that she's able to understand what's going on based on the response by the court officer. I'd ask if they could just avert the camera somewhat so that she's not constantly center of that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. Given the arrangements, I think it's fine the way it is. Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, shall I arraign this inmate?
Yes, you may proceed with arraignment, Mr. Clerk.
Ms. Clancy, on docket 2359 CR 153, the court has a complaint charging you under 265 section 1, count 1 murder, juvenile 1. Count 2, 265 section 1, murder, juvenile 2. Count 3, 265 15D big A, strangulation or suffocation, juvenile 1. Count 4, 265 15D big A, strangulation, suffocation, juvenile 2. Count 5, 265 15D big A, strangulation or suffocation, juvenile 3. Count 6, 265 15A big A, assault and battery, dangerous weapon, two-wit exercise rope, juvenile 1. Count 7, assault and battery, 265 15A with a dangerous weapon, two-wit exercise rope, juvenile 2. And count 8, 265 15A, assault and battery, dangerous weapon, exercise rope, two-wit, juvenile 3. Please be advised while this case is pending, any violation of
Sounds like a jump rope was involved.
being revoked and be held without bail.
Commonwealth, I'll hear from you first.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Commonwealth is requesting that the defendant be held without bail based on the facts of the case, the strength of the Commonwealth's case, and the potential penalty. On Friday, January 27, 2023, using an erasable whiteboard because she was still temporarily intubated, one of the first questions that Lindsay Clancy asked was, "Do I need an attorney?" She knew that she had murdered her children, and she had the clarity, focus, and mental acumen to focus on protecting her own rights and interests. The following is a summary of the events that led to the murders of Cora Clancy, Dawson Clancy, and Callan Clancy. When she returned home, she went outside with Cora and her 3-year-old son, Dawson, to play in the snow. They built a snowman. The defendant sent photos to her mother and to the defendant, to her husband. She texted with them. Nothing in the text was out of the ordinary or any phone to determine how long it would take someone to drive from her home in Duxbury to 3V Restaurant in Plymouth. So she would know how long someone would be gone if they ran that errand. She next went on the CVS website at 4:47 p.m. and then called CVS on Summer Street in Kingston. She spoke to the manager of CVS and asked if they had the kids' Miralax. The manager told her no, but they had other similar medications. According to the manager of CVS, her voice did not sound slurred or impaired in any way. She had no trouble understanding the defendant, and it was a perfectly normal conversation. At 4:53 p.m., the defendant texted her husband, who was working in his home office in their basement. She texted, "Any chance you want to do takeout from 3V? I didn't cook anything. It's been a long day." This was an unusual request, as when the family ordered takeout, they usually go somewhere closer to home, but it was a place that they had been in the past. Patrick Clancy texted back yes, and then the defendant asked him to check the menu. At 5:06 p.m., the husband texted the defendant asking what she was going to get. She responded, "A Mediterranean power bowl." She spelled it correctly, and it was something that was on the menu. He then told her that he wanted the scallop and pork belly risotto. At 5:10 p.m., the defendant called 3V Restaurant to place the order. She got the order correct. She gave the correct name for pickup, Patrick. The hostess who took the call said there was nothing out of the ordinary about this call. She was able to understand the defendant, that her voice was not slurred or impaired in any way. At 5:15 p.m., Patrick Clancy headed out the door to run these errands at the defendant's request. As he left, she texted him Pedialyte liquid stool softener. Surveillance footage shows Mr. Clancy at CVS on Summer Street in Kingston at 5:32 p.m. He goes to the medication aisle, the children's medication aisle. Phone records show that he called the defendant at 5:33 p.m. and she did not answer the phone. She then calls him back at 5:34 p.m. and the call lasted 14 seconds. He's there at the store unsure of which medication to get, and she tells him exactly what she wants. He had no issues communicating with her. It was a completely normal call, although he did mention that she seemed like she was in the middle of something. He is on surveillance footage during this time, exiting that aisle and appeared to be using his phone. He then heads to the register, makes his purchase, and leaves the store at 5:37 p.m. He's next seen on footage at 3V Restaurant at 5:54 p.m. He picks up the food and he's out of there within a minute. When he arrives home, the first thing he noticed was the silence. He did not see or hear the defendant or the children. He actually called her cell phone at 6:09 p.m. looking for them, and she did not answer. He went to their bedroom on the second floor and the door was locked. He was able to open it, and when he looked inside, he saw blood on the floor in front of a full-length mirror and the window open. He immediately runs downstairs and into the backyard, where he finds the defendant laying on the ground. She appeared to have cuts on her wrists and neck, but he stated to 911 that those wounds were no longer bleeding. She was conscious. He called 911. During this time, he asked the defendant, "What did you do?" She responded to him, "I tried to kill myself and jumped out the window." During the 911 call, Patrick can be heard asking the defendant, "Where are the kids?" He later told police that she replied, "In the basement." So immediately after this happened, she knew what she had done and she knew where the kids were. When EMS arrived, he asked them to stay with her so he could go find his kids. The 911 call kept going. Patrick can be heard on the 911 call entering the home and heading to the basement. At one point, he calls out, "Guys." He can then be heard screaming in agony and shock as he found his children. His screams seem to get louder and more agonized as the time passes. Cora and Callan were on the floor in the den area of the finished basement, which is to the left when you walk down the stairs, while Dawson was alone on the floor in his father's home office, which is to the right when you go down the stairs. Each child still had the exercise band that was used to strangle them tied around their necks when their father found them. Dawson and Callan were face down on the floor. Cora was on her side with her torso turned towards the floor. He removed the bands and begged them to breathe. He continued to scream uncontrollably and screamed for officers to come to the basement. The dispatchers are hearing this and they send help down to the basement. And when they encounter Patrick, he yells out, "She killed the kids." The police rushed the children to ambulances that brought them to the hospital. And unfortunately, Cora and Dawson were declared dead at the hospital. Callan was med-flighted to Boston Children's Hospital. Medical staff was able to restart his pulse, but not his brain activity. He was placed on life support for several days before passing away. The defendant was transported to South Shore Hospital and then to a Boston area hospital where she remains. She sustained several broken bones in her back and her rib cage. The police were able to find several notebooks in the defendant's home pursuant to a search warrant, and also notes on her phone that were similar to journal entries. In the months, weeks, and days preceding January 24th, 2023, the defendant meticulously detailed her daily activities, her children's lives, her mental state, and her medication use. Her writing was clear, precise, and articulate. She never indicated that she was hallucinating, delusional, or had disordered thoughts or speech. In all of her writing, she appears to know who she is, where she is, the date, and with whom she's interacted. She wrote a note on her phone the day before killing the children, stating that she had, quote, "a touch of postpartum anxiety," end quote, around returning to work. She wrote that her psychiatrist had prescribed medication to help her. The defendant was initially diagnosed, according to her husband, with generalized anxiety disorder. She was then evaluated at the Women and Infant Center for Women's Behavioral Health in Providence, Rhode Island on December 20th, 2022. There, after an evaluation, she was told in the presence of her husband that by psychiatrists that she did not have postpartum depression and that she had no symptoms of postpartum depression. She wrote in her journal that at times she had suicidal ideation in December of 2022. And she also told her husband that she had suicidal thoughts and on one occasion had thoughts of harming her children. But she did not write or voice those thoughts after a stay at McLean Hospital. When she had those thoughts, she consulted with a psychiatrist and with her husband, and then she committed herself to McLean Hospital on January 1st, 2023. She was discharged by the hospital on January 5th, 2023. And the hospital did not file any paperwork at that time attempting to have her committed as a danger to herself or others. She also kept meticulous and detailed daily medication logs in a diary that she wrote. She detailed that she had difficulties with each of the medications that were prescribed to her. And when she had issues with those medications, she detailed how her doctor had her stop that medication or wean off of it and then try something else. They were trying different medications to see what would work for her, what would benefit her. According to her husband, she was never on more than 4 to 5 medications at one time. And at the time of the murder, she was taking only 3 medications. And he said to the police that she always took the medications as prescribed. After her stay at McLean, the defendant appeared to be getting better, according to her husband. She slept well, interacted with friends and family. She went out with her kids and husband to places like the Kingsbury Club in Duxbury, the Charlie Horse Restaurant, the Museum of Science in Boston, the Cape Codder down the Cape, interacting with her family and the public without any apparent difficulties. She even stayed alone with the children on several occasions without any issues in January of 2023. Her husband asked her in mid-January, "Are you still having suicidal thoughts?" And she said no. The defendant's parents visited the family the weekend of January 21st, 2023. and happy, and there was no indication that she was going to harm the kids. No one at all described her as acting like a zombie in the days leading up to the murder or on the day of the murders themselves. On February 5th, 2023, this past Sunday at 1:35 p.m., while sitting with Dr. Paul Zeisel, the psychologist hired by defense counsel to evaluate her mental state, the defendant used Dr. Zeisel's cell phone to call her husband. She left a voicemail stating that she loved him. Yesterday, on February 6, 2023, at 10:09 a.m., she again used Dr. Zeisel's cell phone to call her husband. This time he answered, and during this call, the defendant stated that after he left the house that night, she killed the kids because she heard a voice and had, quote, a moment of psychosis, end quote. He asked her what voices she heard, and she said she heard a man's voice telling her to kill the kids and kill herself because it was her last chance. Patrick Clancy told the police the defendant had never heard voices before. He also told the police the defendant had never used the word psychosis to him before. The first time she used that word psychosis was when she was with the doctor hired by defense counsel and using his cell phone. The defendant actually wrote a note on her phone on October 25th, approximately 3 months before this happened, October 25th, 2022. She wrote, quote, "I think I sort of resent my other children because they prevent me from treating Cal like my first baby. And I know that's not fair to them. I know that. I was feeling so depressed last evening when Cora and Dawson came home from school. I know it runs off on them, so we had a pretty rough evening. I want to feel love and connection with all of my kids." She then wrote that she wants to have more kids eventually. The children were killed by ligature strangulation. Ligature strangulation causes the victim to become unconscious anywhere from 10 seconds up to a minute. The more the victim struggles, the longer it takes. After the victim is unconscious, the ligature must be held in place with force, squeezing the neck for up to an additional 4 to 5 minutes to cause death. Therefore, she had to strangle each of them to unconsciousness and then make sure the bands were squeezing their little necks for several minutes. She could have changed her mind at any point during that time and removed those bands from their necks, and she did not. The defendant did not take advantage of the situation when her husband left the home that night. She created the situation, and she used Apple Maps to make sure she would have enough time to strangle each child before her husband returned from where she had sent him. The defendant is a danger to herself and others. She planned these murders, gave herself the time and privacy needed to commit the murders, and then she strangled each child in the place where they should have felt the safest, at home with their mom. She did so with deliberate premeditation and extreme atrocity and cruelty. And to supplement what the defense counsel's provided, I have a statement I feel I need to file with the court. And the domestic violence court. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Attorney Reddington.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Your Honor, my request is that the court not enter what I would suggest is an inhumane order, ordering this woman to be incarcerated. We all know, as people that work in the system, that jails and prisons are woefully deficient in medical care of the most basic type. We all know that this is an individual, as Your Honor knows from Dr. Ricard's letter, who is in dire medical condition. We all know that this woman is, as counsel concedes apparently, a danger to herself. I question whether she would ever make it to a trial. She's suicidal. She's extremely emotional. However, she's unable and has been unable to express any happiness or sadness or cry. And in fact, sometime about a month or two ago, she made the comment, "I just wish that I could feel something." Now, our society fails miserably in treating women with postpartum depression or even postpartum psychosis. It's medicate, medicate, medicate. Throw the pills at you and then see how it works. If it doesn't work, increase the dose or decrease the dose. then end up trying another combination of medications. We're talking a relatively short period of time from when that baby was born in October up until January, when this incident occurred, Your Honor, that she was on such significant dosage of medication. Your Honor knows that Cora was born in 2017. It was a very uneventful, normal pregnancy and delivery. No issues afterwards as far as anxiety. Dawson was born in 2018. Again, it was a normal birth. She had no significant issues as far as anxiety. She did have to have stitches and she was sore, and that was about it. Then, of course, Callan was born. When Callan was born, she ended up becoming depressed, suffered from significant anxiety, as a result of which she consulted with a number of doctors. A number of doctors indicated that she would be able to sleep, she would be able to feel, she would be able to emote once these medications kicked in. And again, as I say, our medical and our society completely abandons women with this condition. It's easy to say, come on, you have a healthy baby. You have a wonderful husband. You're able to take care of your kids in your home. You're lucky. Take the pills, you'll be okay. Well, they put her on a number of medications. They put her on Prozac, which Your Honor is well aware, is what's known as SSRI, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Your Honor knows that along with some of these medications, they had the black box warning from the FDA, may cause suicidal ideation, may cause homicidal ideation. She was on Ativan. She was on Benadryl. And then she ended up being told, okay, because she was complaining about the effects of the Prozac, they said, stop the Prozac, we'll find something else. They put her on Remeron. Then they added on Seroquel. And Your Honor, I attached from David Benjamin, the toxicologist, some papers with the submission. And Your Honor can see the side effects that this Seroquel causes. She was having bad thoughts. She was having worsening depression. Her husband suffered through that phase. Her parents were well aware of the fact that she was suffering from this depression and depressive phase. She wasn't sleeping. She ended up, at some point, Your Honor, December 31st, she was on Seroquel. They told her then the Valium would be stopped. She was a shell of herself, no personality, and went to the doctor again. The doctor again prescribes the Seroquel, and then they took her off the Seroquel. And then she went to the doctor, and at that point, they prescribed trazodone, Ativan, amitriptyline, right up to the very end, when she was so bad that she voluntarily turned herself in, if you will, to the McLean Hospital. We know that that's a psychiatric hospital. She was at the McLean Hospital for a period of about 5 days. Well, at the McLean Hospital, they basically tried to get her off the Seroquel. She wanted to get off the benzodiazepines. She felt that she was being addicted to the benzodiazepines. She then ends up on trazodone, Ativan. Her mood was terrible after she got out of McLean Hospital. She still had the suicidal thoughts. As the government has indicated, she even told her husband that she had suicidal thoughts. You think this is something that she's planning to kill these 3 kids by going and getting a menu, going on to Google Maps or whatever it is, and finding out the distance? When she tells her husband she's having suicidal thoughts, probably a month prior, thoughts of hurting her children, they go to the doctor again, and she's on the medications, on and off, on and off. This is a significant issue between the postpartum depression as well as possibility of postpartum psychosis that is pretty much ignored. But nevertheless, with the overlay of the SSRIs and the history, and Your Honor has some emails and things that people would reach out to me from all over the world, indicating that their daughter had the same problem, that they had the same problem. Your Honor is well aware that many times when people are on Prozac or on SSRIs, workplace violence, homicides, family homicides. This is clearly a tragic, which is a word that's used too much in the criminal justice system, but this really is a tragedy, this case. So we have, obviously, I would suggest, a very good defense for this young woman. She's 32 years of age, Your Honor. She met her husband. He was the love of her life. They got married. Wonderful young couple. And as counsel noted, She always wanted to have kids, always wanted to have babies. She's a nurse. She went to be a midwife because she wanted to help other women that would be in having babies, but didn't want to have all the medications. She was not a big medication person. Your Honor saw, I think there's probably close to 50 letters that have been submitted to you, and I know you read every one of them. The incredible outpouring of support by other nurses that work at Mass General Hospital. The fact that these women have a vigil, that they write the letters to this court imploring you to understand that you sentence, as far as bail issue, the woman before you, who was a beautiful person, who was thoroughly destroyed by these medications. That's for another day, obviously. A bail issue, bail argument. Your Honor is well aware under Commonwealth versus Vasquez at 481 Mass 750, Supreme Judicial Court indicated that this court, or the court, has vested in sound discretion of the bail judge. And the main considerations would be obviously the usual bail considerations: nature and circumstance of the offense, likelihood of success on the defense, roots in the community, and of course, as in Vasquez case, as well as Commonwealth versus Herring, 489 Mass 569, defendant's risk of flight. So now you have a situation, Your Honor, where this woman has incredible support, as you saw, letters from Foxborough that was signed by about 15 women, letters from her family, friends, letters from people she's known since the 6th grade that have stayed in touch with her. One thing that's a theme that is readily apparent is that Lindsay loved her children, that she would always, one of the letters said, she would always rub her belly, rub her belly. She had pictures of her pregnant standing next to Patrick, hanging on the wall. I was in the house. The house is absolutely loaded with indicia of love for those kids. Photographs on the wall, little drawings, all sorts of games, toys, playpens, bassinets in the living room, in the dining room, the kitchen loaded with toys. Virtually the entire house, including their master bedroom. Toys, things for the kids. This is not a situation, Your Honor, that was planned by any means. This is a situation that clearly was a product of mental illness. Now, under the Vasquez case, one of the issues, as I said, is whether or not there's a risk of flight. Now, I did submit to Your Honor a letter that was written by her physician, her attending surgeon, Nakul Rekha. And this doctor was in surgery until 8:30 at night and actually took the time to write this letter for you to review. And I just want to make note that he makes reference to the fact that she is now in her 12th day of hospitalization following admission on January 25 after a 20-foot fall. She suffered, unlike when the government Friday was saying that she can move her legs and she's getting better, she's okay. No, she's not okay at all. He indicates that she suffered several severe spine fractures, including spinal cord transection. You know what that means. At the level of T5, T6. As you know, she had surgery for this from the Orthopedic Spine Surgical Service, who performed a decompression infusion. Unfortunately, she is not expected to recover meaningful function at this point below that level of the spinal cord, which makes her a paraplegic, unable to move her legs or feel sensation from below her, he refers to umbilicus or belly button. He says she has no function below this level. Additionally, less active issues include rib fractures in the chest, both sides, cervical spine fractures, necessitate the wearing of a collar around her neck due to the cervical spine fractures. She's paralyzed. The doctor indicates that she needs significant medical treatment. Doctor recommends that she would be discharged to Spalding Rehab. Now, you know that we have Spalding Rehab. You know that we have the Worcester Hospital. This court is vested under Vasquez with your authority to have this woman not held on bail, perhaps put a GPS on her, I guess, if someone's concerned that she's going to miraculously recover, which isn't going to happen. As Your Honor knows, being a paraplegic, paralyzed, she can't move, can't get off the bed, she can't walk, she can't even go to the bathroom. She has to have 24/7 medical care. Her emotional state is so bad that there is a significant fear of suicide. She has to have someone sit in the room 24/7 to watch her. They don't talk to her. They're not, chatting it up. They just sit there and watch out of that concern that she would commit suicide. So you have a paraplegic who can't walk, who is definitely a danger to herself, and the government wants to put her in where? Framingham State Prison? Plymouth House of Correction? There's no way that any humane person would do that, especially within the structure of our criminal justice system, where a person is presumed innocent. And I'm not suggesting with the facts that the government has read, but she has a good defense. She's got a darn good defense to this case, because that's what happened. And I just want to share with you, Your Honor, one of the things that's interesting. When I was in the House, I came across a drawer that had a bunch of pill bottles in it, and I called the DA and I said, I got these pill bottles, and made arrangements. I'm going to be giving them to them. And it's all the Prozac and the Trazodone and all that stuff. But inside the drawer was this little vase. And I didn't know what it was. It just looked like a little vase to me. And my wife said to me, oh, that looks like a wish vase. I said, what's a wish vase? She said, when people write down little wishes and they put little pieces of paper and they put them inside the vase. And there are literally dozens of these little pieces of paper that talk about Lindsay's wish for happiness and health for her children, that she could get pregnant again, that she would be able to be with her children, little Callan, Dawson, Cora, that they would be happy, healthy, and successful. This is not a woman, Your Honor, that had any reason to harm those innocent children. My request, Your Honor, is that the court would put her on a GPS if you feel that's required, and let the doctors continue to treat her. Let her go to Spalding Rehab. She will sign a waiver that allows probation at any time to speak with her treating physicians or social worker. Find out how she's doing. Does it look as though she's getting close to regaining the ability to walk, which she isn't, but nevertheless, they would be able to do that. And then the government would be notified, and they can come back in here again and try to hold her without bail. And my request would then be to Worcester for the emotional and the mental illness aspect. I don't think that it's fair or just or consistent with our duties to each other as human beings to put her in jail. I'm asking that she be allowed to continue with her medical treatment, Your Honor.
Commonwealth?
Your Honor, if I may, I did look into medical treatment if she's held. We were under the impression we had received information before that she could move her legs, but then we learned updated medical information that she, for the time being, is paralyzed from the waist down. If she is held, she could go to the Shattuck Hospital. If Shattuck does not have what she needs, she can be sent to another facility, and the corrections officers would go with her there. Shattuck would actually work with her, the doctors at the hospital she's currently at, to determine the best course of treatment. And if whatever she needs, she's going to get. But as defense counsel said, she is a danger to herself and, from the Commonwealth's perspective, others. And just because she is paralyzed does not mean she's not a flight risk. She will be in a wheelchair eventually, and she can be driven somewhere. She can be flown somewhere. It does not mean that she will never be able to leave this area.
Just would like to say that I'm sorry. Thank you. I have been, unfortunately, in the Shattuck Hospital. To suggest that she can get, quote, what she needs from the Shattuck Hospital is absolutely not true. The care that she's receiving at the hospital she's at now and the care that she would be receiving at the Spalding Rehab are light years ahead of the dismal, dank conditions of the Shattuck Hospital that we put our prisoners in. It's like something out of Iran, and that's not fair or correct.
Thank you both. Both of you, all of you who appear before me that will be litigating this case are all very well respected and I'm sure at some point in time in Superior Court, this case will be tried in a very professional and very well by both sides. As counsel stated in Commonwealth v. Vasquez, the Supreme Judicial Court addressed the issue of bail in first-degree murder cases, and Justice Lowy issued a detailed decision about the issues in these types of cases. The court found that a defendant charged with first-degree murder has no right to bail, but may be admitted to bail in the discretion of the judge. The court ruled that a judge should consider the nature and circumstances of the offense and weigh the defendant's risk of flight in light of the strength or weaknesses of the Commonwealth's case and the potential penalty of a sentence to life in prison. The court further noted that appropriate considerations for a judge would include the defendant's family ties, financial resources, length of residence in the community, character, mental condition, record of conviction, appearances at court proceedings, or any previous flight to avoid prosecution or failure to appear at any court proceeding. It is important to note that the purpose of bail is not to impose punishment. The court has conducted a careful review of the details of the case and the defendant's history. The court's reviewed the filings that have been made, as well as letters submitted by counsel for the defendant and the update that was received from her attending trauma surgeon. The factual allegations in this case are both horrific and tragic. The potential penalty faced by the defendant, if convicted, is severe. The defendant has no criminal history. She does not even have a driving record. There is no evidence of any history of any abusive behavior by the defendant. The defendant was raised in New England and has extensive ties to the local area. She has an extremely supportive family. She worked for several years in a local hospital, and a number of co-workers have written letters in support of the defendant and her character. She's described in these letters as an exemplary worker, colleague, and friend. In the letter submitted by her attending trauma surgeon, she has extensive injuries that will require long-term inpatient rehabilitation. Weighing what the doctor has written and the facts from the defendant's current condition, the court finds that there is minimal risk of flight given the defendant's circumstances. The court is going to make the following order on bail. The defendant shall remain in her current hospital until medically cleared to be moved to a new facility. As a condition of bail, the defendant is ordered not to leave the hospital until discharged to a new facility. The defendant shall provide notice to probation 48 hours in advance of any transfer to a different facility. Based on the letter of the doctor, it would appear likely that she would be sent from the hospital setting to a 24/7 rehabilitation facility, like the Spalding Rehab. As a condition of bail, if sent to a 24/7 rehabilitation facility, she is ordered to remain in that facility, with the exception of if she needed to be transported to a different medical facility or a hospital for an additional MRI or something like that. The defendant shall continue to receive mental health treatment while hospitalized and sign releases for probation to monitor compliance with counseling. In the event that the defendant were to complete the services at a 24/7 rehab and complete that care, the court would hold a further hearing as to whether or not the defendant were in need of further mental health treatment that would need to be done in an inpatient setting, or whether or not the defendant's mental health care could be provided in a residential setting. The court would direct the court clinician, court doctor, to consult with the defendant's mental health providers to conduct this evaluation at the appropriate time in the future. If the defendant were in a position that she was going to be discharged to a residential setting, both sides would have the opportunity to be heard further. Any discharge in a residential setting, the defendant would be subject to home confinement with appropriate electronic monitoring to monitor home detention. There would be exclusions that would be available if the defendant needed to attend medical or rehabilitation appointments, counseling sessions, or religious worship sessions. The court would have probation visit any proposed residential setting prior to the defendant being discharged to that type of a setting to ensure that such a setting was appropriate and safe. The defendant is ordered to surrender her passport to probation. In the event that the defendant does not have a passport, she is prohibited from applying for a passport. The court is not going to set any monetary bail at this time.
Your Honor, would the court order that any such residential setting be in Massachusetts? I don't think we could do monitoring outside of the state.
If we get to that point, we may make that request. If it becomes an issue, we can deal with that. We clearly have the ability in Massachusetts to appropriately monitor. If for some reason, I know that there are relatives that live in Connecticut, if something like that were being requested, obviously the court would need to make sure that appropriate monitoring were in place, but both sides would have an opportunity to be heard regarding that request. The next step in this matter would be to schedule a probable cause hearing. Is there a date that the parties would like to suggest for that purpose?
How about May 2nd, Your Honor? It's going to take some time to
That is fine.
gather records. Thank you.
Obviously, I would believe that it would be highly probable that the Commonwealth would be proceeding by way of indictment to the grand jury. In the event that the defendant is indicted, counsel for the Commonwealth will notify Attorney Reddington and make appropriate scheduling for arraignment in Superior Court.
Very good.
There was a matter that I'm not sure if the parties need to address. There was an impoundment order as to a document that was signed by a previous judge. Do either of you wish to be heard on that?
I think by agreement at this point, we'd ask that all impoundment orders be extended and that defense counsel be allowed access to copies of the documents.
It appears that Judge Sullivan had issued an order specifically as to one document, and that order will remain in effect. It may be readdressed at the next court hearing. As far as what is in the, as it would relate to the doctor's report or any of the letters.
I don't have any request to impound the documents filed today, Judge.
Okay. That's fine. And obviously the documents submitted by the Commonwealth would become part of the court file, as would be the application complaint and documents that were attached to and submitted in support of the complaint.
Those now.
What?
Those will be.
Yeah.
Your Honor, we have signatures and
Yeah.
probation execute signatures to counsel.
Yes, counsel for the defendant may sign the conditions of probation. The conditions of probation have been read to the defendant, and they're clear. If there's any issues, they can be addressed on a further court date, but those will be the conditions that the defendant is subject to, and counsel can sign on her behalf.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ma'am, on docket 2359 CR 153, the court has released you, ma'am, on conditions. You must remain in the hospital facility until medically cleared. You're not to leave unless discharged. You must submit notice to the probation department for, if transferred from any facility, must receive mental health counseling, sign releases for probation. The court notes a rehearing may occur if conditions change, home confinement upon medical release, allow visits, home visits by probation, and surrender a passport, and the previous impound order has been extended to the next dates. Case is continued to May the 2nd, 2023 for probable cause.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, folks.
You've been listening to the arraignment of Duxbury mother Lindsay Clancy in the charges now official of murder, strangulation, and assault and battery on her 3 children, ages 5, 3, and 8 months. Prosecution spent most of the time laying out the history of Lindsay Clancy's mental state and the clarity, they say, of her mental state in the months and weeks and day leading up to the murders. They've been difficult to listen to, but I'll give you a little bit of what the prosecution said. First off, they said she was intubated in the hospital. They brought a whiteboard over. The first thing that Lindsay said to the attorney was, "Do I need a lawyer?" So the prosecution used that as state of mind, cognizant of what she had done. The way it lays out, 8 charges against her, outlining that she had no issues that day. She went to the pediatrician with her daughter. Nobody at the office, not the front desk, not the doctor, noticed anything about her behavior. Went on to stay with the kids, play with the kids that day. And the part they really honed in on was that they're saying Lindsay used Apple Maps to Google, to time out how long it would take to go to CVS, where she was going to send her husband Patrick to get some Miralax for the kids, and then to get takeout at a restaurant called 3B, which was unusual because they don't usually go that far for dinner. She times it out. She asks her husband to please go run these errands. And that is when, according to prosecution, she killed her 3 kids. The husband, Patrick, returns and said the first thing he noticed was silence in the house. Went up to the bedroom, door was locked, goes in, blood on the floor, window open, goes around. A little bit of information we already knew. She was in the backyard, but she was conscious, and said, "I tried to kill myself." And he asked, "Where are the kids?" And she said, "In the basement." So after the paramedics arrived, Patrick goes to the basement. According to prosecution, that's where he found the 3 children who had exercise bands around their necks, and they called it ligature strangulation. And according to prosecution, it takes about 10 seconds to a minute to render someone unconscious with this type of strangulation, but then another 3, 4, 5 minutes before you actually end their life. So they pointed out that she had sufficient time to think about what she was doing and could have reversed her decision. The last thing that they said basically was that she created the situation using Apple Maps to make sure she had enough time to do what it is she wanted to do. And so they asked that she be held without bail.
Right, really calling this calculated. The day of the murder, she didn't take advantage of this situation. She used it to plan these murders, following the prosecution laying out what they believe happened on this day, especially really focusing in on her state of mind in the weeks and day of the murder. You had the defense attorney, Kevin Reddington, repeat what he told us last week, was that she was on a lot of drugs for mental health issues, that she was suffering from postpartum depression, even pointing out that she had voluntarily admitted herself to McLean Hospital for nearly a week for mental health issues. And to counter what the prosecution said, that this was calculated, he says this was not planned, but was a product of mental illness. He then also said some pretty striking things that she may be suicidal. He even said she may not even make it to trial. Which I think really stuck out as we listened to this. So ultimately, at the end, the judge ruling that she must remain in the hospital until cleared and sent to perhaps a rehab facility. Wherever she goes, she will have to continue undergoing
She's not going to
medical
jail.
treatment. Right, she is not going to jail.
At this time.
And if by some measure she is discharged from a rehab facility, she will be confined to a home and monitored with a GPS bracelet. But that is where things stand right now today following this arraignment in Plymouth County District Court.
This story has captured all of our attention. There are an enormous amount of details to go through. We will have a full report beginning at 4 p.m. here on NBC 10 Boston. We always have information online, NBC10boston.com or the free mobile app. We will get this all straightened out. We will be back at 4 o'clock. We do hope you will join us then. For Corey Smith, I'm JC Monahan. See you at 4.
Well, I don't know what to think. I did see her wipe a tear once. I don't know. It seems premeditated to me if all this they're saying is true, but I just don't see her being the type to just kill her kids for the fuck of it, you know? I just don't see that. I mean, I know it's possible, but I don't know. And them changing her medicine so much, when it comes to mental health meds and you keep changing them like that, it really throws you off. Because they were probably changing them in short periods, you know, and your body's got to get used to that. And then you go to another one and another one and another one. Because at one point they said there was 11 different medications. And they didn't say nothing about Ambien, but in her reports, she was on Ambien. Yes, she was trying to seek help, right, Frank? She was trying. I just don't see. Usually I'm like, no, fuck her. You know, she killed her kids. But no, there's something about this that pulls me to have sympathy for her. I can't help it. I don't think she done this just because she wanted to get rid of her kids and herself. I think if she was feeling like that, I think she would have just tried to off herself and not the kids. If she was in her right mind and wanted to take her life. I don't think she would have hurt her kids like that on purpose. My opinion. My opinion don't mean shit, and it's usually the opinion that people don't like, but you're always right. She shouldn't be denied proper care. I mean, yeah, you could tell she's paralyzed because she wasn't moving at all. I had heard that, but I didn't know it was facts until today. My damn internet kept going out halfway through. It's like, fuck. And that poor dad. That poor dad. I don't know. But it does sound premeditated. Premeditated as fuck. I know, damn Wi-Fi. I'm going to mute for a second. I got to get my dogs. They're outside. Give me just 1 minute. Okay, I'm back. I got you controlling Wiener, Frank. Yeah, that's. And then the exercise bands, isn't that like bands you like put around your legs and stretch and stuff like that? First they said exercise rope, and I was thinking jump rope. I think it was those rubber bands like you put on your legs, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to think now, y'all. But that man, was that her lawyer? Yeah, it was probably her lawyer, wasn't it? But you could tell he has sympathy for her, and for a man. But then they got that $1 million GoFundMe money. I don't know. I'm so torn on this. I just don't see her doing this for the fuck of it. I just don't see that. I believe it had something to do with her mental health. I really do. Fairy Floss must be sleeping. I ain't seen her today. I think the baby suffered more too. Cause you know that she. Yes, Sunfly. I don't know what to think now. And her mapping out, how long the restaurant, and I don't know. It don't make sense. Is there more they're not telling us? Because they told us quite a bit today. Yeah, what the hell, Fairy Floss? I don't know. Oh, House of Williams is filing a complaint today against that officer. Fucking bitch. I'm going to go hackle that bitch. You want to watch some of the House of Williams shit show? Because I'm on to her over at fucking St. Jude stuff. That pissed me off. She went to Memphis fucking looking for trouble. Exactly, Stonefly demands it. Fucking demands respect. Because she puts quality content. Why you acting a fucking fool? Look, yesterday, y'all remember the outfit House of Williams had on that day at the hospital? It had all them chains. Somebody had a sock account and it said Mallory's fupa chain. It was so fucking funny, Mallory's fupa chain. I laughed so hard at that. We're gonna watch this bitch.
All right, first of all, people, let's go ahead and get the likes going, please. Go ahead and get your thumbs up. Go ahead and sign the guest book as you come in, please, and thank you. Welcome, people. Welcome. Holy shit, people. Oh, what a day. Oh, that officer Taylor. I told her, I said, listen, lady. Oh, ma'am, you'll want to hide that badge number from me.
She's after that officer lady that didn't know if she was a he or a she. And like, Mallory would not give that officer her ID, so how would that officer know? She's going to try. She done this on purpose, because she's trying to pull a Molly and Betty when they went into Ashley Furniture. Because how ironic. Now, yeah, no, I ain't buying this shit.
Oh, you will. You'll remember me. You'll remember me, darling. I'm not darling. It's officer. Okay, darling. Consider it the Southern dialect. Holy shit. How are you, people? How is everyone? How's everyone at the dance floor today? Oh, goodness gracious. Here's my beauty. Can you handle all my beauty, people? Holy shit, the fucking haters. The haters can't handle it. Oh, the Jesus Christ, the handles can't. They just can't handle it. Oh my God, from my shoes to my fucking curtains, they can't handle it. The bitches, they just can't. They can't. Oh, Jesus Christ, they can't handle it. Holy shit, people. What are you gonna do? Just thank you, D. Join my TikTok. You know you're a hated bitch. Wait, listen. When let me just do you one better.
And look, she keeps saying she's broke and all this. She's not broke, because early on, before she got really deep into this tragedy pimping, before she got into the true crime part of this stuff, she said that all of her money that she makes on YouTube, not cash apps and stuff, but like her YouTube paychecks, she has them in a savings account, because she's trying to buy her a brand new Ford Bronco, is what she's trying to buy. And she's been saving all of her money. She let that out early on, months ago, whenever I could actually stand to kind of watch her. And yeah, so she's fooling everybody, because everybody forgets about that Bronco fund she has.
Not the shoes, from your shoelaces. From your shoelaces.
Not
your
dumb
curtain,
bitch.
but your curtain fucking rod. Holy shit, people. To your curtain fucking rod. Holy shit. These fucking haters are on full patrol. Jesus, to goodness, have I done something right? Holy shit, people. Toot, all the fuck aboard. The fucking hater train is coming through. Holy shit. Oh, Destination House of Williams. All the fuck aboard. Oh, God.
You dumb bitch.
Holy shit. Oh, God. Oh, the best put together bitch on fucking YouTube, honey, and they can't handle it. Oh.
Honey, you ain't the best put together fucking bitch on YouTube. Let me stand beside you and we'll see who's put together, baby. I don't have to tuck my shit.
You've got a fupa accessory. Well, bitch, some of you motherfucking fat ass bitches should fucking accessorize your fupa. Holy shit. You go through all that.
Oh, she talking about the fupa? Because of that troll account, Mallory's fupa chain. Sorry, but that cracks me the fuck up. I seen that. Now she's talking. Oh, it's really bothering her. So I guess I need me a sock account from Mallory's fupa.
All that work to fucking get that motherfucker like a tumor above your fucking vagina. Throw some fucking glitter on it and celebrate it. Holy shit, you fucking fupa wearing mongoloids out there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking fupa pride, bitch. Jesus.
At least I got a pussy, bitch.
Christ. Oh. Oh, fuck. Jesus, fuck, people. Well, my fupa's on my back. It's different. My fupa's on my backside. I'm in a, Fuck off, you fucking trolls. Holy shit, people. Oh, God.
Well, she just kind of verified she does tuck it.
Oh, shit. Oh.
And in no way am I hating on any trans or nothing like that. But this bitch here, she is taking advantage of her whatever. She's taking advantage of it. Just like people take advantage of the mental health card. Oh, my mental health made me do it. No, it didn't. Don't even go there. I got fucked up mental health, and it don't make me fucking wear a fupa chain to a children's hospital.
For the record, my curtains are on a curtain rod. People, my curtain rods aren't stable to the fucking wall. They move, they're free flowing. Listen, they move back and forth, side to side. Holy shit, people. Holy shit, these fucking weirdos. What kind of fucking weirdo sits there talking about Jesus Christ?
Looks like a shower curtain to me.
I've had my share of flop hotels and those curtains.
Have a good day, Stonefly, and thank you for coming by, love.
They're stapled to the wall. They don't move to the whole. I'm sorry that you spent so many fucking nights in a fucking $35 Fleabag motel room, but holy shit. Oh my fuck.
Hey, bitch, I'd rather stay at a $35 Fleabag hotel than have to sit on fucking internet and beg for money.
Fucking curtains move.
Because you couldn't even afford a $35 fucking hotel if it wasn't for your e-begging ass on here.
My curtains move, motherfucker. Oh, shit.
Let me see them curtains move, Mallory.
Oh, listen, people, this is foreplay. We're going to get to it. We're going to be filing some complaints against Officer Taylor. Listen, guess what I've got today? I got some video footage, right, of Officer Taylor in action. Listen, she's so proud of herself, that Miss Taylor, right? Miss Taylor is so proud of herself. She was, oh my God, she was just beaming with pride, wasn't she?
I bet she done this looking for a lawsuit. I guarantee she went out seeking a lawsuit.
Holy shit. Oh my God, she done Memphis proud that day, right? She's done the LGBT community and that community so proud. She really did. So we want to celebrate her. We're going to celebrate her with some. Listen, guess what I've got? Guess what I've got, people? Here. We're gonna be dropping this throughout the chat, okay? As soon as I can find my way, because you know, this. Oh, I know what I got to do. There it is. That's what I got. Don't worry, you don't have to rush to it right now. I mean, you can go check it out right now. But this is gonna be coming throughout this whole chat. In fact, I'm gonna pin it right to the top. There you go. Pin that motherfucker. There you go. You know what that's going to do? It's going to take you right to the form, right to the complaint form. That's what it's going to do, people. Right to the complaint form, so that we can, all of us that were traumatized and pissed off at the way that I was handled by Miss Officer Taylor, we are going to go ahead and fill out some official complaints on behalf of not only myself, but the entire LGBT community.
She's got that link pinned in her chat to mass report the cop. It's fucked up.
Because, listen, of all the people on that force, of all the people that was handled and all the injustice that was done to me that day, I always say it's not me that I worry for. I've said that of all the hate that comes my way, all of the brutal things that are thrown my way, the most disgusting and vile things that are said my way. I've always said I am a very confident woman. I know who I am as a trans person. I've had an entire team of professionals sign off on me. Like, there's nothing anybody here can say to sway me or make me second guess who I am, right? Or what I'm about. So, but I always am concerned.
Do you still got your Peter, Mallory? Do you still have your Peter? Pumpkin eater.
For those other trans women, you know, those younger trans gals that come up under and behind me, right? Those are the ones, you know, like my girl Gina, she's significantly younger than I am. So listen, I worry for her.
I've met some trans people in my life, and they don't act like this. They do not fucking act like this.
Up through, right? I worry for people coming up that under her. She's got a whole young little crowd of transgender boys and girls coming up under her that look up to her. So I'm always concerned for those people and their families. And the last thing I want for them is to encounter an Officer Taylor out there on those streets, right? Officer Taylor.
And look, she already knew the spotlight that the Memphis Police Department is going through, you know, because the Tyree Nichols case. Just all of the damn violence going on in Memphis. She knew this. She went there looking for fucking trouble.
Needs to be re-educated. She needs to be retrained. She needs to be able to be in a position and a mindset.
Yeah, Carl's intact.
Far better than she served me that day. It was so out of sorts, so out of hand. She so personal. You could tell she was coming from such a personal place. She was unable to put her personal positions against trans people aside and handle somebody, would give them the dignity and respect as a trans person that they deserve, that I deserve, right? On the interactions of Officer Taylor and myself, right? Nothing else matters. Nothing else. Take everything else out of the equation, because none of that matters when it comes to the interactions and the behavior that Officer Taylor exhibited toward me and the lack of professionalism she had in response to me. Okay. And this is what we need to alert the chief of police to, and we need to include the link. I have uploaded the video. The video is now public, okay, on my page. So when we're filing these complaints, we need to make sure that the link to the video is in there. You need to make sure, people, please make sure that, you know, you're a witness. All of you are a witness. You're a standby witness. That's the great thing of live streaming. You were all there. You all saw exactly what happened from start to finish. Every one of you were there on scene with me, period. So as witnesses to this, I'm asking you to please take a few minutes and fill out this form and tell me what you exhibited, what you witnessed from Officer Taylor, the behavior that she unleashed on me, and how it made you feel as an observer. Because I'm telling you, it was a traumatizing experience, and it would have been traumatizing for anyone watching, especially if they had LGBTQ people in their family, or if they happen to be LGBTQ or trans themselves, right? Listen, no trans person specifically needs to be addressed in such a manner. And why am I just singling her out, you might ask? Why not the whole crew?
Well, maybe
right?
if you'd gave her your damn ID, you dumb bitch.
I'm less concerned about being shoved, about being manhandled a little bit, or intimidated by the other officers, right? I am mainly concerned for my trans brothers and sisters. That's where my concern lies.
Nope, you're lying.
And
You're doing it for
all
clout,
of the
you
other
dumb
men on
bitch.
scene, all of them addressed me properly as ma'am from the get-go. Regardless if whatever they might have thought, they still addressed me as ma'am. They could see me. They knew that I was ma'am. They knew clearly that I would not have been a sir, a he, or a him. They were following what they knew, whatever they were trained for. They knew that I would be a he, a sir, or a him. And as did Officer Taylor. And this video will clearly show that she knew full well that I was a she, a her, or a ma'am. She knew full well. The video will show that. So, people, she chose purposely to be hurtful. She chose purposely.
I do not believe that cop done that on purpose. She was looking for a fucking fight. I mean, she does look like a woman, but you can tell that she's trans, but I don't know. I don't really know. Do what?
Do you honestly think that looks like a woman?
Well, yeah, I mean, kinda, but you can tell it's a man, but
That looks like a drag queen. She's a drag act, I'm telling you. She's a drag act. And she's took it to YouTube. And now, because of the following and that she's getting, she's pushing it. She's a typical drag act. Like you said, trans people don't act like this, no. But you go down the pub and you watch a drag act, they act just like this. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Just pisses
What's the
me
matter?
off. Hey, Tiff. Hey, love. Oh, Frank the
Frank.
Tank. I love it. We love you, Tiff. And I hope you're doing okay, Mama. You're a tough cookie. I know that. And you always got friends here. Believe that.
And a Chinese balloon.
Tiffany, that fucking Chinese. That cracks me up, the Chinese balloon Tiff. That was the best fucking thing. Oh, Lordy. I died when I seen that. I still die when I think about it. I loved it. We're talking about this dumb bitch trying to sue the fucking cops. Or the woman cop. She didn't have no problem with the man supposedly brushing up on her and pushing her and shit.
You know what that is? She knows she can't prove it, so she went for the one that says, how am I supposed to know that you're a woman? Because I'd be funny if someone was like that standing in front of you. Are you going to call them a ma'am? Because she looked like she was dressed. Well, let's not even go there.
She had a fupa chain on. Lord. This dumb bitch.
Purposely to minimize me as a human being, as a trans woman, because she clearly has an issue with trans women, first and foremost. And she took that person.
That did not show she had an issue with trans woman, bitch. She lives in fucking Memphis. She has seen it all there. Trust me.
Issue and took that opportunity out on me, who happened to be at the moment in a very vulnerable situation. Now, what if I would have really reacted and responded to that? Do you understand? something so personal, such a personal attack on me? What if I really would have just taken such an issue and went into what if, people, that I would not, if I was unable to keep such a calm demeanor through that, through such a nasty attitude, right? I mean, not for nothing. It's akin. What she did to me was akin to calling.
She had the fucking nasty attitude. If I was them cops, I would have arrested her.
My black brothers or sisters the N-word. That's what it's akin to, right? So it is so debatable.
It is not no fucking comparison, you dumb bitch.
What she did to me. And I handled it with absolute grace, mind you. But what if I wasn't the type of person?
Grace? She really say grace? She was looking for a fight.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, she was looking for a fight. She know what she was doing. And he's like, now look at what she's doing. What she's doing now is 101 manipulation. 101. This is something you go on YouTube and type in how do you manipulate someone. This is what they're going to show you.
Yep. And she got herself on video too, trying to sneak into the hospital after they already told her no at the front desk she went to first. Then she was looking for a side door, and that's when the cops came up on her. She does not have a case.
Well, she might have a case, a suitcase.
Yeah. That's about it. Just blows my fucking mind with this one. And I can't believe Molly took up for her, because Molly really does donate to St. Jude, and Molly is a big St. Jude supporter. And I thought Molly would get her on this. I did, because Molly has went after anyone else that has scammed St. Jude or anything to do with St. Jude. Molly has went at them. Why is this thing any different?
Because this thing's the new sideshow.
And this thing
like
is bringing Molly views.
Yeah, like that comment. Now people aren't talking about Molly, they're talking about the sideshow.
Mm-hmm.
What could that have led to? And then what could that have led to? And so on and so on. You understand? You understand, people? So please, the link is up there. Let's take a look at the video. Put a 3 in the side chat if you're ready to go over the video with me. Easy. And everything else, if you send me a cash app, please try to let me know. None of that warrants or excuses or justifies the behavior of Officer Taylor. None of it. Okay?
Just like nothing excuses your fucking behavior trying to go into a children's hospital with sick fucking babies.
All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let us just look. Let us look. Okay, we have to do, which screen do I want? This one. I want this screen. Okay, here's Officer Taylor and myself. This is the video that's going to be shared in the complaint forms, people. You all are witnesses, so please, again, please do your civil duties in this matter. Please don't turn your back on this, on me. Please just follow.
I stand with Memphis PD.
Through on this.
What now? How much do you think this is going to be edited compared to the actual thing that come up? Yeah.
Let's watch and see what she has here. She ain't going to show all the shit she done bad.
You have to think of, I'm never going to see trans people in this community are not. They're not. They're going to be pulled over by her. They're going to be arrested by her. They're going to be prodded by her. They're going to be scolded by her. They're going to be.
How in the hell is she going to know somebody's trans? Oh, I think that car's got a trans person in it. Let's pull it over. The fuck out of here.
Humiliated by her. They're going to continue to be called he or him or whatever gender they are not. Listen, you get the drift. Okay, let's go. Here she is. Hey, how you doing? Now, let's just start out. The first word she said to me. This was the very first encounter that Officer Taylor had with me. Let me repeat them. Hey, young lady. How you doing? Let me say it again. Hey, young lady. How you doing? Now, why is that? Because her, like everyone else on the scene, saw a woman walking around the property. No ID necessary. You could clearly see a female walking the property. Let's continue. I feel like I'm being profiled. I'm not being profiled. Well, what did you just call me? Excuse me. Sir, man, whichever one it is. It's me. Now, because I didn't stop for her, right? She's irritated with me. Now she wants to be nasty, right? So now she starts the transphobia. Like so many, we're so used to that because we see it here. It's the lowest hanging fruit. It's the bullshit, right? Sir, ma'am, whatever, right? Right? Here it is. My name has nothing to do with a gender. There's the problem. Has nothing to do with a gender.
Hey, man, you have idea.
And you hear everyone else in the background addressing me appropriately. See, everyone on scene sees a man, clearly sees female. Every one of her colleagues. Yet for some reason, right? Everyone can see that this is a man. But yet she refuses and needs to see a man, even though clearly it's a female.
Are you an officer of the law?
And let me be clear. This is not about, let me be very clear. This is not about passing as female. This is not about, well, you look like a guy. This is not about passing as a female. This is about how one presents. This is about how trans women present. And if a trans woman is presenting as female and so clearly presenting as female, that means they're wearing female attire, makeup, hair, women's accessories. They are presenting as female. That means you address them most likely as ma'am, non-binary, they, or I'm a cross-dresser, you can call me sir, you know, whatever the fact. But this person is presenting as female, and you had it right from the beginning, Officer Taylor. Hey, young lady.
Yes, I am officer. You have idea on you?
You're the one that originally approached me, though, correct?
I am.
Now, clearly, I wouldn't have been a sir, right? So what? No. Clearly. This is, I didn't know if you were a sir, a ma'am, really.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. Are you supposed to be on the campus? Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
So clearly, once again, it just shows that she knows full well.
I didn't hear her say, "Hey, young lady, what are you doing?" I just heard him say, "Hey, how you doing?"
They probably, you know, like, I'm sorry.
Know what?
They probably got told there's someone in drag walking around, because I'm not being funny, like, arguing me all you want on the toss. She doesn't look like a trans person. She looks like she's threw all that on to go out and have a walkabout and cause a bit of trouble. That's what she looks like. You don't look like a typical trans person.
Straight up being a cocky ass liar.
Are you ignorant?
Are you ignorant?
That would be a question.
Are you ignorant?
No, that's my question to you.
No question.
So,
I got a reason for being on this.
Right, but
do you have a reason, right? Is your reason for being on campus to sit there and humiliate a trans person, right? To misgender a trans person? Is this part of your reason for being on campus? Because for me, first and foremost, you would have already identified, which you did, that it was a lady, which you did from the get-go. It was a ma'am. It was a lady. You assessed that immediately, Officer Taylor. So at what point after that did it become about misgendering and flexing your bigotry onto this trans person?
Look at a lady and call her sir, and to call her sir.
I don't know what you are. Once again, she doubles down on that. She has the nerve to double down on it again, even after seeing my driver's license. At this point, she had already seen my driver's license because it was shown to her. When I presented my driver's license, about 10...
No, I think the driver's license was shown after that, because I don't think that lady would have kept going on. I can't remember, but you can tell this is spliced up.
To 12 minutes before, it was shown to her directly. It was shown to her. And it was confirmed to her that I was indeed female. And here she is, once again, dehumanizing me and minimizing me to my face as a trans woman. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you are. As if I'm an object, a thing. Really? Really, Officer Taylor? My goodness. Let's continue.
Hey, young lady, how you doing? Hey, young lady, how you doing? Right. Well, that's why I asked, would you be ignorant? Because look at me. Right. Yeah.
When you're dealing with women,
yes.
I ain't want to do this, that woman.
That is in town visiting, who made everyone aware that I'm visiting, which give a shit because you're a bigot and it's not your kid, right? You're just a fucking bigot talking about somebody else's trans kid. You don't give a fuck because you're a bigot. Guess what? My family loves this trans person. Every bit of me.
I wonder if she ever washes that cup, because she uses that cup every day and it's still got the fucking sticker on the bottom of it.
Right? And I imagine that pisses you off.
It does look. Watch, you'll see it. I've noticed that before in the past.
Right?
She used that same cup.
You'd never hear my family. My family are part-time bigots. You're never going to hear anyone in my family.
See, if I buy new dishes or if I buy new anything, I take all stickers, labels, everything off of it. It drives me nuts.
Ever go after some trans person or gay person or non-binary person. You're in these most foul discussions. You're never, ever would it happen. It's never happened in my lifetime. It's never going to happen. Never in my life. Could I imagine that coming? It just would
Tammy,
not happen.
yo!
Not my sisters, definitely my mother. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's not going to happen. Because they're not part-time bigots.
Yep, Tammy, I believe every time something happens, she blames it. She pulls that trans card out. And like I said earlier, I'm in no way, shape, or form knocking that community or anything. But this thing, this is another story. She's taking advantage of it.
People like this bring the bad lights on the community. I mean, if you ever met Tony, B Tim's mate, you could sit there and you could laugh and everything. She used to give me some. Sorry, he used to give me some grief. You know what I mean? In that on that panel in that channel, and what's it called? Never once did I ever hear her talk like this. Do you know what I mean? Never, 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 never.
It's crazy.
And the last thing they do is say such a thing and say, well, I can't be a bigot because my sister, Mallory, is actually a trans person. And then use me as their get out of jail free card of bigotism. You know how ridiculous that is? Right? I just highly insulted another trans person, called out her, whatever her what we think is between her legs and whatever else. And then holler, I'm not a bigot because, listen, my sister Mallory is trans, so I can't be a bigot. Get the fuck out of here. Nosy, thank you. I have filled out thank you so much. Thank you for filling out the form, Nosy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I have obviously filled out the form, people. Now, obviously, the more forms that we can get from Ms. Taylor, there were no actual witnesses, no people, no physical bodies standing there, right? So all the witnesses that were there, all the witnesses that saw Taylor there were all online. Now, here's the great thing about this video. Even if the haters want to come in and they want to try to fill out forms, well, she had it coming, watch the whole rest of here's the real video. We don't care because that's all static and bullshit. It's not going to excuse her behavior. And that's why I brought it all down to Taylor and I, because she's my complaint. She's the complaint. That's it. I'm not complaining about the overall way that I was treated here. And I very well could have, because I was treated very heavy-handed. But my gripe and my hurt and the damage to the trans community at a whole came from Officer Taylor. That's what I'm not standing for. That damage. That kind of shit can't go on in 2024. Not in Memphis, especially not in for LGBTQ people, our metropolitan areas are supposed to be our safe places. Not for nothing. A lot of us leave rural parts of America because, not for nothing, there tends to be a lot of ignorance in the rural part of America when it comes to LGBTQ issues. So we all migrate, not all of us, but many of us migrate to larger cities.
Tammy Ayo, I used to watch her. She gets worse and worse. I can't fucking do it.
She's just made a point as well.
What?
She said that she said she could put in about the officers pushing her around and that. No, she can't because there's no proof of it. It never happened.
I don't believe it. If them officers pushed her, she would have said something.
She's using the trans card because she knows it'll cause more of a fuss. That's exactly what she's just said as well.
Yeah.
Blue, and they tend to be more, less conservative and just, more inclusive and more understanding, more empathetic with, the rainbow. And you what do you call holding up the cardboard sign? A grifter. They love the word grifter, even though none of them know the definition of grifter. They just like the word, right?
Honey, you are the definition of grifter.
I don't actually have a grift. There's no grift here at the House of Williams, right? I just asked you to send me money, right, to help me live, right, in exchange for my banter and my entertainment quality content, right? Megan, thank you, my love. Love you and your message to everyone. We stand with you. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Megan. Have you filled out the form though? Will you please fill out the form, Megan? Use the link above and use the link in the video list. We've got to get the attention of that precinct. We've got to get the attention. Listen, and for bonus material, send something to the mayor. The mayor has an email. The mayor has email, people. Send a link and a description to an LGBTQ coalition in Memphis. This is what bonus material is. I really want people, listen, once again, this isn't about, I don't live in Memphis, people. This is not helping me. This is what you understand. I'm never going to see Officer Taylor again. You're not helping me. I live in Central Florida in a very Republican area. I got my own things going on over here. This is for the people in Memphis. I want them people to be okay. I want those people to have a different experience when interacting with Officer Taylor. And if she gets reprimanded, that's fine. She's not going to lose her job over this. Trust me. There's nothing in there that's going to rise to the level of termination. But there is plenty in there that says she needs a coaching. She needs to be re-educated in how she handles trans people, specifically trans people, and the LGBTQ plus community. She also needs to probably brush up on de-escalation in general. I should never have been able to get that kind of, I should never have been able to crank her up like she was. She was really cranked to the point where she threatened me. Don't run up on me. Don't run up on me. Do you understand? That could have easily led to just me. No one was running up on her. That's the thing. No one was running up on her. But that was very akin. Do you know what that was like when she did that? Taser, taser, taser. It was almost as though when you need something for your body camera to pick up or your these feel like she is somebody else. Listen, just fill the reports out. Email me if it's after this. Just let me know you filled out the report. Please include the links, right? It's imperative that you let them know how it made you feel as a witness, right? You know, just let them know your concern for their local LGBTQ people or specifically trans women. Just use your words, people. Just use your descriptive words. Sometimes less words are more. Just use your powerful words. Mallory, you did great. I'm sorry that happened. Thank you, love, for another $5. Thank you. Going into my March paycheck. I so appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Oh my God. Maria, Tiffany, wait. Maria says, Tiffany, Mallory, we sent a PayPal. Maria, I do like, and I've got what looks to be, is it $6 from Maria? Thank you, my loves. Thank you so much. Maintain their cool. Everybody else was hot, heavy, tempers up to 10. No one was able to de-escalate except for me. I had to little by little bring.
Okay, I've had enough of that.
Yeah, she had changed it on her driving license anyway. On her driving license, it says she's female, so she has changed her identity.
Yeah, it does say female on her license. She ain't lying about that. Right, Timmy Ayo, you're fucking. I don't think she has a case.
No, there's no case. It's just she's looking to kick up a fuss. She's using that she's trans. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Disgusting. Cheer up.
I am cheered up.
Bloody hell.
Yep, she's trying to get a case anywhere she can. That's absolutely correct. She went there looking for trouble.
Yeah, she went there looking for trouble and now she got it. She looked through a video and she found it. That's exactly what happened. She probably had more of a case if she went against her being shoved around, but
Yeah.
she's got no proof of it. That's why she's not going with it.
Oh, because you know if she had proof that she'd go with that too. She would sue the whole damn department, try to.
Yeah.
Man, Memphis has enough going on. She shouldn't have never been there to begin with. She had no
Listening to her
business
laugh.
going to Memphis.
Do the laugh.
What?
Do the laugh.
I can't do it on call like that. It just comes out sometimes. Do I sound like her when I do it or something?
Just do it.
No, I can't like on spot. It just happens. I just do it.
Oh.
I just can't do it.
Sorry, Tammy. Looks like Cotton won't do it.
No, I can't. I can't be on call like that.
So, about the members, I missed that bit of the live trying to sort that thing out.
Huh?
The beginning of the live, you was talking about the members. I missed it because I was trying to sort that thing out.
I didn't really say much. Just said I'm going to try to get it planned when my head's right and. I don't know. What are we gonna do now?
End this one and start another one.
I ain't got nothing else to talk about.
We'll figure something out. Book one for in 15 minutes and we'll figure something out.
Well, if I end this one, it's gonna be a little later before I start another one.
Okay, well,
Not
that's up to
immediately.
you. Sure, channel. It's up to you.
Yeah, 2%, Tammy.
Yeah, like near enough everyone in the world has like 2%.
Yeah, like I have I don't know how much, but I got some Native American in me because my grandma, and I never even talk about that.
Oh, never knew that.
Did I have Native American in me?
Shocked. The whole world needs to stop and listen.
I wish I had British in me. Ignore that. All right, I'm going to end this.
All right, then.
I think it's just me, you, and Tammy Ayo here. But
No, there's two of us as well.
I might come back later. You have no idea, Tammy Ayo. Tammy caught that.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right. Love you, Tammy Ayo. Have a good day, love.